What is going on, everybody? ZyoniK here, and in today's video, I'm going to be running Whiscash and Talonflame Core, two Pokemon that got updates with the new season. Whiscash got access to Scald, and Talonflame got an increase in damage to Incinerate and access to the charge move Fly. Now, I'm going to stick with Brave Bird because I do love the boom, and it's a mind game, right? A lot of trainers might be thinking Fly is still going, but we land some Brave Birds today. Now, Whiscash, I think, is a strict upgrade with Scald. You get a lot better coverage with more neutral matchups that might be a bit more difficult with Blizzard, such as Talonflame, Skarmory, and Gligar, the top three flyers in the meta right now. Charizard as well. The Scald is just fantastic for that. Drapion is our safe swap as well, a really solid safe swap in this meta. So I hope you guys enjoy this video, and let's get right into it. All right, getting into the first battle. We have some sweaty battles today. Whiscash on the lead versus Skarmory. If this is a, I think this is the Air Slash one. Yeah, this is Air Slash. So Air Slash is still viable on Skarmory. It gives you different coverages, different super effective damage as well. But Scald is really nice in this situation just because of the raw neutral damage that it can do, and also that attack drop is really huge for the a low energy charge move like this. So we're gonna let the Sky attack go through. I am concerned that there might be a Lanturn in the back. Pairs pretty well because its big weakness is going to be grass type Pokemon. So we're going to look to, we get a double debuff right there. So I'm actually going to go ahead and look to basically near commit to the farm down. I don't think I can actually get the full farm down with Mud Shot right here, but we're going to see if we can make it. Yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and go for Mud Bomb. We got plenty of energy right now where if there is a Lanturn in the back, we can still put some damage onto it, and Drapion's a great matchup for that as well. There's actually going to be a Cradily, so we're going to safe swap into Drapion, and we do have a Whiscash come in. So Cradily in the back, really solid, spicy core breaker coming up through the meta, has access to Grass Knot and Rock Slide. And in this matchup against Whiscash, obviously, we're not going to be doing very well as we take super effective damage from Mud Bomb. So I'm going to go ahead and let these go through. I'm going to look to do as much damage with Crunch as I can. Hopefully, I can get to a Crunch and an Aqua Tail. But I think getting the Crunch, we do get a shield right there, which is great, but I don't get to the next Aqua Tail. So that's fine. The Crunch was, it got a shield, so that's perfectly fine by me. Now, I'm in a very tough situation. As you guys can see, there is a Whiscash and a Cradily to deal with. The hardest hitting move left in this game, though, and we get the final shield, which is huge, is going to be Rock Slide. That is something that we need to account for. So we're going to make that decision in this battle as we go ahead and come in with Talonflame. And this is going to be a Scald, most likely. We have to let it go. Rock Slide is the hardest hitting, or Stone Edge. Some of them are hitting with Stone Edge. We survive. Cradily comes in. We don't take that much damage here from the Bullet Seed fast move, so I will shield. And it is going to be a Grass Knot, so they didn't have Rock Slide. But it wouldn't have mattered because I can go for Brave Bird now. This is going to be KOing the Cradily. And then hopefully after this debuff, get ready for yours, boom, we can get one more Incinerate off. And we survive and able to get to the next Brave Bird. So that is going to be a good game. Very well played. The Boom Bird is back. Boom! Down goes Whiscash. And that is going to be a good first battle. Alright, getting into the next battle, we have Lickitung on the lead. So this is another tough Pokemon to deal with. It does have access to Power Whip as a charge move, so we're going to look to try to catch that on Drapion as we go for a Scald first, and then we're going to be swapping out into the Drapion here right as it gets to the Power Up. So about right here. We're going to go ahead and swap, and we catch the charge move. Hopefully, it is a Power Whip. If it's Body Slam, so be it. But it was a Power Whip. That's huge. That is huge for this game. We draw out a Medicham as well. We're going to go ahead and go for Crunches. Now, this matchup is a lot closer than you might think. Crunch still does quite a bit of neutral damage here to a Medicham, and it has the potential to debuff as well. So we'll have to see if our opponent is going to throw a Dynamic Punch here. A lot of Medichams are starting to run that. I've tried it myself. But it's just going to be an Ice Punch, which means we survive and we're able to get another Crunch off. This is very big for us. Now, I'm starting to team read potential third Pokemon, and it could be, we do get the defense drop there, it could be Lanturn, could be Superior. I'm just thinking off the top of my head, so I'm going to come in with Talonflame. The reason being, if it is Lanturn, Whiscash can come into that matchup with energy, or come into that matchup and get a lot of energy, but it's actually going to be a defense form Deoxys in the back, so a double psychic backline. So what I'm going to do here is overcharge and go for Brave Bird. Make them fall asleep thinking I'm just going to go straight Flame Charge, because it is not. It's a Brave Bird. We counter swap now into Whiscash and go for Mud Bomb right away, but I think they see the writing on the wall, because Whiscash now is up against a Lickitung with no energy, mind you, and I can 2-shield Talonflame and win this game because I landed Brave Bird. So good battle, very well played. Alright, moving into the next one, Whiscash versus Jellicent here on the lead. So another Pokemon like Lickitung, where we want to try to catch the charge move, and I'm hoping to catch the Shadow Ball. That would be very huge for us right here, but it is unfortunately going to be the Surf, as we now can get to a crunch pretty quickly, but they safe swap into a Charge Bug. So 2 Pokemon that can do well against Talonflame, which is obviously nice to get it out on the field. That means Pokemon number 3 is most likely a positive matchup. I'm praying it's a positive matchup for us. So we want to utilize our Drapion as best as we can right here as we survive the X-Scissor with 1 HP in a dream. I was hoping we could survive that. Obviously didn't know for sure, but we get a shield right there. That is huge now for us. We're going to go ahead and come in with Whiscash now and try to get rid of the Charge Bug, but unfortunately I threw my Scald a bit late. I didn't want to take this damage right here from X-Scissor. I really wanted to have a bit more health there, but unfortunately we gotta go the Scald now. I did a extra fast move that I shouldn't have. We take out Charge Bug. Jellicent is coming back in. It's gonna go for the Surf right away, which is okay. We can look to let this go, but it was a Shadow Ball. I'm like, oh my goodness, I'm so far behind right now. I thought that was just a Surf. I gotta come in with Talonflame now because I would have been farmed down on Whiscash, and we're gonna bank that charge move. Hopefully we can utilize it later on, as they're gonna go ahead and go straight Surfs here. I'm gonna look to go for a Flame Charge, hoping to get the final shield as they're not swapping out, because clearly maybe Pokemon number 3, well, I mean, obviously this is a good matchup for them, so they'd stay in. But we're going to go ahead and go for the Flame Charge here, and let's see what we can do. We get the final shield. There is some hope. We're going to go ahead and go for Brave Bird right away. So maybe something we can back. Shadow Victreebel. Come on. We want to see the Shadow Victreebel. Boom! Down goes the Jellicent. And no, it's going to be a Gligar. So we need to do one more Incinerate, and we get to the Brave Bird in time. This is boosted as well. So Talonflame coming in clutch right here. Boom! One-shots the Gligar, and that is going to be a good game. Very well played. Alright, moving to the next one. There's the Shadow Victreebel. So this is obviously a bad matchup. We're going to go ahead and go into Drapion, and in comes a Wigglytuff. Now, I make a mistake here, and I just went for... Oh, I was so frustrated because I saw the Wigglytuff. I'm like, this is going to be Bastiodon in the back as well. I can just feel it in my bones. So, I make a mistake going for Aqua Tail right away. So now I'm going to build up a ton of energy to go for a Sludge Bomb. And lull them to sleep, making them think, you know what, maybe this is a Sludge Bomb, so we get a shield. So that's huge. We'll take those. They're going to go ahead and go for Icy Wind, and this is obviously a bad news bears situation for us. The only way we win this game is if it's not a hard counter to Talonflame in the back, which, to be honest, looking at how things are shaking up right now, it's probably going to be. When you have a Victreebel lead, you have a hard cover, 2 flyers in the back, and sure enough, it is a Bastiodon. There's no winning this game. The only win con I potentially have is coming in with Whiscash and loading up on energy and just Mud Bomb spamming the Victreebel. But even then, like 3 Razor Leafs takes us out. So I think it's going to be a good game. My opponent as well is putting me into a checkmate situation where they stop attacking. Why are they stopping to attack? I'm going to go ahead and pause this because it's a good... I ended up surrendering, but the reason why is Switch Clock. The Bastiodon does not need to fear the Talonflame. What the Bastiodon and my opponent needs to fear is my Whiscash coming in and loading up on energy. That's the only way I can potentially win this game, and they know that. So by keeping Talonflame alive, I am now stuck in a checkmate situation. So good heads-up play by my opponent, and bad news bears for me, so I will surrender. Good game right there. Alright, moving into the next one. Lanturn lead. This is what we've been fishing for all day. We get it. We see a swap into Lickitung. And I should be coming in with Talonflame right away, but I'm just not. I'm like, okay, I got to come in Talonflame now to try to catch the Power Whip, but I don't get it. So I'm fumbling this game right now. I think Talonflame should have come in right away, just go straight Flame Charge and try to overtake with fast moves, right? So now we're very, very far behind. So we're going to pull a play right here, and that's obviously going straight Brave Bird. Why not? If I get myself a shield, awesome, because I don't know what they have in the back, but having shield advantage is gonna be huge. But boom, we take it out. So now this is actually a good situation where they come in with Mandibuzz. The reason being they don't get a lot of energy, right? So now we're gonna have Drapion aligned to Mandibuzz. We don't have Sludge Bomb here for the heavier neutral damage that we could apply, but we do have Aqua Tail at least. And that is why I'm utilizing Drapion as a safe swap, because it does well against grass. Aqua Tail still does well against Pokemon like Galarian Stunfisk. Crunch is a great charge move as well in this meta. But we have to just go straight Aqua Tails. When they come in with Lanturn, we come back in with Whiscash. But remember, we banked so much energy that we have multiple charge moves ready to go. And this Lanturn is very far behind. So Whiscash is smiling because it is now a part of the meta with that Scald update and the buff to Talonflame, right, to Incinerate. So if there are Talonflame users, Whiscash does well because it core breaks or potentially core breaks a lot of Lanturn Talonflame teams just because of the damage and coverage that it has. So we're going to go ahead and let this first one go through. It's not going to be enough to KO. We're going to commit to that farm down, and then we go straight Scald right here. But my opponent knows that it's going to be a good game, and they do decide to surrender. All right, moving into the next one, Whiscash versus Alolan Ninetales. This is a tough one. I'm going to decide to stay in. It is going to be Powder Snow. Had it been Charm, I think I would swap out. But this is a tough one because Weather Ball right here does a lot of neutral damage. Talonflame does cover the Alolan Ninetales, but Alolan Ninetales has great neutral damage against my whole team. So we're going to go ahead and go for the Scald, and they give up a shield early. So this tells me that they might be running something weak to Whiscash, and my first thought is with an Alolan Ninetales lead, weak to Fire and Rocks, it's very likely that there's a Lanturn in the back, so we're going to swap into Drapion, hoping to draw it out, but we draw out a Mandibuzz instead. This is kind of tough because we didn't get the Lanturn on the lead, right? Or didn't get the Lanturn to come out because of our lead. And this is going to be a potential bad news bear situation because if it is in fact a Lanturn in the back, it's basically another checkmate situation because we didn't draw it out. So we will see the Mandibuzz look to go for Aerial Aces here for that nice neutral damage. Honestly, Mandibuzz, another fantastic flyer. When Aerial Ace got the update, Mandibuzz did become more a part of the meta because it's a flying Umbreon with grass and fighter coverage, right? It's beautiful. So, and potentially Bug, but we don't see Bug that often. But you guys know. We're going to go ahead and just go for Aqua Tails right here, praying that we can get to another one in time, but we don't. So we got to let this go, and had we thrown the Aqua Tail, they would just shield anyways and farm down, maintain switch advantage. So we're going to go ahead and come in with Whiscash. We're going to look to go for Scald now to get rid of the Mandibuzz, and then we got to pray that there is somewhat of a neutral matchup for Talonflame in the back. And we are in the 1, so I will counter swap right away. The Alolan Ninetales does come in, and now it's just all a matter of what's in the back. And it was a Lanturn. So a good team read on my end. Unfortunately, the execution of the Drapion safe swap did not draw out the Lanturn. It drew out the Mandibuzz. So that's going to be a good game to my opponent. There's really nothing I can do here. Just basically soft checked in every position. Obviously, Lanturn's a tough Pokemon for Talonflame to deal with, so you want to try to get rid of it with this team, which is why you want to catch it on the lead or draw it out with the Drapion. Maybe we could utilize a different safe swap. There's a lot of good options out there. We're going to fight the good fight, but ultimately Alolan Ninetales is going to take us down, and that is going to be a good battle, very well played. All right, moving into the next one, we have Cradily on the lead. So this is a tough core breaker as well. We're going to go ahead and go into Drapion. to get ahead on energy, and they will come in with a Skarmory. So now this is one of those matchups where Drapion could potentially flip in. That's going to come down to if we get a debuff or not with Crunch, which we get one. That's already huge. We can go ahead and go for another Crunch right here, and this does a lot of neutral damage. After that defense drop, it really starts to add up where we get a shield and we get a second defense drop. RNGesus is on our side. This is going to be a close one. We're going to no shield, calling the Sky Attack and not Brave Bird, which it is, which means we survive and get to a third Crunch. Drapion is putting in work, everyone. Putting in absolute work right here. Boom! Down goes the Skarmory. We get switch advantage. And we do see a Lanturn in the back, which is perfect. Whiscash goes to Lanturn. Talonflame goes to Cradily. We just have to respect the Rock Slide or Stone Edge, as they're going to go ahead and go for a Surf. So we're going to go ahead and maintain shield advantage. They swap into Cradily, and in comes Talonflame. That is going to be a good game. As unfortunately that mid-game matchup, this is what it comes down to. This is why Drapion's a very solid safe swap, is just the ability to soften up the opponent, debuff the opponent, or sometimes completely take switch. I think overall it's pretty solid in this meta. As Flame Charge does land, we are boosted out of our mind. We're going to go ahead and double shield. We don't need shields for Whiscash in order to win this one. What we need is Talonflame to get rid of this Cradily and farm down, and now we can go for Brave Birds right here because we are boosted. This, even though this is resisted, guys, it's a Brave Bird coming from a boosted Talonflame. It hurts. Look at that damage. Now we can go for another one. This forces the final shield of this game, or it KOs the, I think they have a shield remaining, or this KOs the Lanturn. We counter swap, throw Mud Bomb, and that is going to be a good game. Very well played. So this team obviously has the potential to win, has good coverage, is utilizing the Whiscash Talonflame core. Pretty fun, new updated Pokemon for Great League. So good battle. All right, moving into what I believe is the final battle here. We have Azumarill on the lead. Now Azumarills are tough to deal with. They swap out into Medicham because we don't have super effective damage for it, and it's very, very bulky. So we're going to go ahead and no shield here. If it is a Psychic or Ice Punch, it's totally fine. It is going to be Psychic. We can survive that easily. We're going to go for Flame Charge as well. And my hope is to come out of here and be able to go for a Brave Bird versus the Azumarill. So we're going to go ahead and throw. We're going to commit to the farm down now. I have to give up a shield, unfortunately. But we should be able to get a shield on the back end. There's no way Azumarill lets the flame or the Brave Bird go through, especially after I'm boosted. So I'm going to go ahead and go for it. I don't think I get another Incinerate through to get a second Brave or a Flame Charge and a Brave Bird, so I just go straight Brave Bird because the bubbles take me out. But now we can come in with Whiscash, and they swap into Shadow Hypno. So Drapion very good in this matchup. We can go ahead and go for Crunches here, do a lot of super effective damage. And this Shadow Hypno as well is kind of in a tough position. They have to no shield right here. We're going to go ahead and go for the Aqua Tail to take them out. And this is where ultimately I make a mistake. They decide to shield. And I'm thinking to myself, this could be a Focus Blast. I'm going to let it go. And it is. Oh, boom, down I go. I come in with Whiscash. I have to throw Mud Bomb now. To get the Hypno out of there, and now it's going to be a Whiscash versus an Azumarill who still has energy, but a shield advantage on my side. I'm going to let the first charge move go through because I fear a Hydro Pump, and it's going to be a Play Rough, so maybe that was a Play Rough shield bait, but ultimately, if they have Ice Beam, I think it's game over because this is still the XL Azumarill. Mud Bombs just don't do that much damage, which is why I was saying earlier, this team might struggle against Azumarills who have shields, or you can't get them down low enough. Now I do mess up some fast move timings here as well, which I think ultimately makes me lose this game, because I'm going to go ahead and shield an Ice Beam because I need three more Mud Bombs. Yeah, I mess up one right there, so we're going to go ahead and just go for Mud Bombs here, and this is going to get close. As you guys are going to see, this gets extremely close, and yeah, this is going to be a good game. Maybe Scald might have been a better call. I think Mud Bomb is still the play, though, but they do survive with a little bit of health. So, misplays on my end right there, but ultimately it was close. So good game to my opponent, but that Focus Blast obviously got me. So good battle. And that is going to be the final one of the video. Again, this team kind of just putting it together. Whiscash, Talonflame, core. You guys could flip that, have a Talonflame on the lead, Whiscash, anchor, and then there's a lot of other safe swaps you could have out there. Maybe Vigoroth being a good option as well, as it's brand new. I need to try that out along with Wigglytuff. Yeah, hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I think Talonflame is back on the menu. Whiscash, strong with Scald. I think very consistent and a good answer to Lanturn. So, like always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.